Folks, Ranch Mercantile.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming in so early too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we wake up early, so this is nothing new, just a different location. So
Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself.
a little bit of myself. Raised here in the North County, proud pastoral with Bearcat, graduated in 95. Best place to be raised, absolutely, hands down. Took a little break away from the area, followed my wife with her career down in Southern California. Just made me miss home that much more. So about 11 years ago, we moved back, bought a little farm in Atascadero. No better way to raise the kids. So
Right, North County.
North County, yeah. So agriculture is in the blood. So we kind of wanted to start our own little farm and teach them the values that I was raised with and all my friends were raised with. And that's what we're doing. So we started up a little business called Irish Oaks Ranch. Started real grassroots. We're just raising meat for friends and family. Things took off. And then my oldest son, Aiden, just kind of got in the business and started raising alpine dairy goats. And we needed an outlet for that milk.
Oh, wow.
And so he started producing goat milk soaps. And people started loving that. And then so next thing you know, he launched a website and things took off. So within a couple of years, he started distributing his soaps throughout the world, actually.
No kidding.
Australia, England, Iceland, and then throughout the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah, so really kind of an entrepreneurial story for Aiden to take off. And then of course, we had this big lockdown where everybody was kind of stuck in home and really wanted to support, small businesses. And they chose ours as one to support. So next thing you know, our little home-based soap factory outgrew our home. So that's how the Mercantile came to be. So we ended up getting 2,000 square feet in Atascadero and used that as our base for our manufacturing. My wife runs the day-to-day operations. But we had this extra retail space that we needed something to do with. So we invited other local makers in. So for somebody who wants to visit us at the Mercantile, they're going to recognize a lot of local names. Groves on 41's in there, Leo Farms, Hamley Farms. So we take a lot of local producers and then give them a place to showcase
very
their
cool
stuff as well. So yeah, so
and where is that at?
It's on El Camino Real, 7425 El Camino Real. It's by where the old Golden China Buffet used to be. We're in that complex. Uncle Ed's Outfitters is in there.
Okay. Yeah, right across from Ted Miles.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
awesome.
So yeah, we're just stoked to be part of the community, and it's just kind of coming around full circle. I mean, it's this kid being raised in the North County with the love of ag. Now I'm part of it, right? So
that's a cool story. So your wife was in the kind of the field for the
correct, yeah. So she transplanted to San Luis Obispo County when she was 18.
Okay.
She was raised as an Air Force brat. Moved straight from Virginia to Cal Poly to pursue a career in animal science, pre-veterinary medicine. She did do that, graduated Cal Poly in 2000, but corporate America picked her up with her skills. And so she went to go work as an animal nutritionist for a large feed company based out of LA. So basically she's an R&D scientist by trade. So when it came home, she was getting bored and says, hey, I want to help Aiden make a soap. And so she used her R&D science stuff, transferred it into production, and then now she's making, or the whole family is making the soaps, the lotions, candles, bath bombs, you name it. So,
but you said an interesting thing beforehand, as far as like her knowledge and her background with your cattle raising,
yeah,
combined,
right? So that's on the meats end, right? So so we do raise Angus beef. So we source all of our calves locally. We're not a cow-calf operation. We're kind of a finishing point, right? So we'll go out to local outfits like Cal Cherry or my buddy Bandy Joe Smith up in the lake, even the Lindsays. We'll source our calves locally, and then with Melissa's knowledge in animal nutrition, we finish these things out on a pasture, but also with a fermented grain to really give them a nice marbled finish.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And what is the grain fermented with?
It's just fermented grain, right? So it's just fermented in water, right? So you're basically taking seed, you're soaking it down, and then it's using, I guess, the yeast in the air and starting to bubble, everything else, soften it up. It's almost like a beer mash without the beer extracted from it, right? So
No kidding.
yeah.
So that's the science behind the beef and the meat.
That seems to be what works well for us. Obviously, we monitor them quite a bit, and then we change stuff out, from we take lots of notes on what their rate of gain was, everything else, and then what really tells is how the meat looks, how it tastes at the end, right? And so we know if we tweaked something, that affected our meat, because we're using the same genetics from the farmers, so
that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
So because everybody obviously goes to the store and buys meat, well, they don't really know what they're getting.
Correct.
And how it was raised, what it grazed on.
Yeah.
And you're basically able to tell that buyer that, hey, this is how we did it.
So absolutely. So everything from our hay and our grain is all grown locally here in SLO County. The reason why we think our animals thrive on that is because you're not introducing outside allergens, which isn't stressing the animal. So it's creating a good environment for the animal to grow, right? So
interesting.
And we're kind of heartbroken because our big feed mill up in San Miguel closed down. So now we love supporting Templeton. So that's kind of our go-to now. But man, it was so convenient to get the barley in these big 75-pound sacks from from San Miguel. So
wow. Yeah. And so now I'm going to fast forward to Aiden's venture on this whole soap thing. So he starts making soap from the goat milk.
Correct.
Okay. So for family and friends. And then when the pandemic hit, he was making some antibacterial soap that just exploded.
Yeah. So it had nothing to do with the pandemic whatsoever. So as you can tell, our family's into wrestling, right? So we all do jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, Muay Thai. That's a big contact sport, right? And so we were finding that kids were starting to get ringworm or, ickies from the mats, right? So we created this natural antibacterial, antifungal soap, right? We called it Killer Soap, right? Because it sounded pretty tough. And then Aiden's little business partner, this guy by the name of Jocko Willink, decided to promote it on his podcast. And we couldn't have planned the timing any better because this thing launched in January of 2020. Fast forward 2 months later.
The world's shutting down.
The world's shutting down. Everybody's running around scared. But they're also looking for natural ways to cleanse themselves, right? And here you have Killer Soap, right? So wow. So that was our largest seller during 2020, to say the least.
Yeah, hands down. Yes. It's like we're shutting down all operations. We're only making antibacterial soap.
Yeah. No, and we're the people. I mean, when they ordered from our website, they were also finding that my daughter made candles, so they were like, "Hey, cool, let's support this kid." So it was weird how we went from a local community that was supporting us to now a nation community that was supporting us. Got a lot of feedback from people that were just stoked at what our kids were doing and everything. So it was just a great experience, right? I mean, I feel so fortunate that we had something to do during this whole pandemic thing, right? And so our kids stayed busy. We all stayed healthy. I mean, everything worked out perfect. Yeah.
Well, you say nation, but I mean, you mentioned that they're worldwide.
They are worldwide. Yeah. So we've had some people in Australia, some people in England, my brother in Iceland. They buy our soap wholesale. We ship it over to them in a cargo container, and then they sell it throughout the year. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. Like I never foresaw Aiden's business taking off this way, but it has,
And how old's Aiden?
Aiden is 17. He'll be 18 in April.
Wow. So he started this when he was 15?
He started actually when he was 12.
Oh.
And then things just really took off when he started hitting high school,
Wow, that's such a cool story, because you always wonder where things start off at.
Yeah.
You got all these local businesses that might have been a Cal Poly project or something like that, and they exploded.
Yeah.
And then you see I don't know if you watch Shark Tank. I'm sure Aiden does, because he's probably thinking but it's like these little things that just explode, like the soap, the antibacterial soap. The scientific behind the meat. I mean, it's just, you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things to where I guess my upbringing is what brought this to success, right? Because when you're raised in the North County, as you know, you follow through on your commitments, you work hard, everything else, right? And I've been able to teach that to my kids, and they've done that. And it's almost like a rarity. Our customers see that. They're like, whoa, this is crazy. Your kids are actually working hard. And, oh, they screwed up an order, but they're making it right. That's what brings back these customers. I think that's what made the business a success, and it's sad to say that that's rare, but no, I'm stoked on my kids, that they're doing this and they're making it a success, right? And of course, their products that they are putting out are top quality stuff, right? So that obviously helps, but I think there's so much more that helps it sell. So.
Awesome. So now we fast forward, we got the Mercantile. So tell us about the event that's coming up.
Yeah, so the Mercantile, so this is kind of a way for us to reach out to the community. My wife, on a regular basis, hosts sip and make classes, so people could come in and make candles, or it's kind of a social event, right? We have cocktail mix and everything else. So we thought, what the heck? Let's have a sip and shop night. Let's just get the community together, see old friends, everything else. Our house is a wreck, so let's not host the party there. Let's host it at the store. Right. And then if people want to come and shop too, hey, have at it, And so that tonight is the friends and neighbors one. So everybody's invited, because pretty much everybody in North County.
Everybody's your friends and neighbors.
Exactly.
So.
All my friends that are watching this. And then tomorrow is more of the general public one. So that's going to be at our shop from 6 to 9. We're going to have hot cocoa, cider, wine there. Just supposed to be just a social night, and I know Melissa has some pretty good deals in store for all the customers that do wish to shop.
And so the Mercantile, other vendors, will they be there as well?
Yeah, so we're going to have a couple different makers there that might talk about the stuff that we regularly carry. The Mercantile, we carry people, Aleo Farms, olive oil, Groves on 41 olive oil, Cayucas hot sauce. We carry a lot of the local stuff on a day-to-day basis, but I think tomorrow we will probably have a couple of the vendors there that might be able to share kind of their product. So.
Awesome. So once again, tell us where your shop is at and where these people can find you tomorrow.
7425 El Camino Real. It's by the old Golden China Buffet, Uncle Ed's Outfitters, for those that know where that's at. Come in and see us tomorrow, even tonight, 6 to 9. So. And
you have availability to buy online, your website?
We do. So we have a website, irishoaksranch.com. Everything over $65 ships free. If you message us, we can actually hold the stuff there in the store. So if you want to shop online, we can put it together and you just come and pick it up.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Matt, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Love the background of it and the reason where you guys are at now.
Yeah. Look forward to kind of sharing our experience with you and hopefully coming back and talking more.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for coming in.
Sure thing.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to What's Up North County. Want to thank Matt with Irish Oaks Ranch Mercantile. They're in Atascadero. Make sure you guys get out there and support that local business. You'll find all kinds of great stuff for now and for Christmas and going into next year. So I want to thank our sponsors, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting. We want to thank Pillar Real Estate, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Escalar Wines, and 805 Customs, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Shop local, buy local.